Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told out of Voice of Radio, so today we need to have a chat about the Phantasmal Flames pre-release promos. And this might be the point where you go, what's he? Didn't you tell us what they were literally earlier today? Yes, I did. But the thing is, earlier today, I told you, well, there's been listings of new promos been put up, so we know what the pre-release promos are. Well, now they've gone and just showed it to us. We've got nice English scans of them, so we need to do what we always do in this situation, where we have a good look at the English versions of all these pre-release promos, and we rank them. Sound like a plan? Excellent. Because I've got a definitive ranking for this set, which is not always the case. Although it does switch around depending on whether we're talking about pre-releases or standard format. Now, this does seem like a good time to remind you that Phantasmal Flames pre-releases, they're only a couple weeks away. They are coming up fast. They are going to be on the weekends of the 1st and the 8th of November. And when you go along to your pre-release, you get yourself your build and battle kit. And that's going to get you 4 packs of Phantasmal Flames. And it's going to get you a bunch of cards with which you can make a deck. That is something we don't know yet, how they're actually going to be constructed. And you get one of your 4 pre-release promos. And obviously, if you've been to a pre-release by this point, you'll know that essentially the way it works is your pre-release promo kind of matches the deck that you're going for here. I.e., if you end up with a Ceruledge promo, you're going to have a Ceruledge deck. Sound like a plan? Excellent. And to be fair, they have told us a few of the cards that are coming in there as well, so we'll chat about that as we go. So in at number 4, no matter how we're looking, it's Flygon. Now, I love Oswaldo Cato as an artist. I think this Oswaldo Cato artwork is fantastic. By the way, I will show you the Japanese versions of the regular art here, just because, so you can have a look at both the different artworks and have a look at which one you prefer. But I love the artwork here. The artwork is phenomenal, but this card is not good. It's not a particularly good card. It's not a particularly exciting card. I don't think it's going to be one people are going to be rushing to build around, frankly, in any format at this stage. Now, what we've got is a really nice ability, to be fair. Once during your turn, when you play this Pokemon from your hand to evolve one of your Pokemon, you may use this ability. You may also use this ability if this Pokemon is in the active spot and is knocked out by damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon. Discard the top 2 cards of your opponent's deck. So you get this essentially once when you evolve into it, and then you get it a second time when it's active and gets knocked out. And to be fair, it's got decent HP and it's got a 2 energy attack. Like, if you get this dude up and rolling, you're milling 4 cards. And to be fair, milling 4 cards in a pre-release with 40 card decks is a lot better than milling 4 cards in standard with 60 card decks. And it's not a horrendous attack. It's just a bit slow and it's not that special. We have also been told that in the build and battle kit, you will be getting the Gligar Glysaur line. So we've got single energy, 10 damage plus poison on Gligar, and single energy, 50 damage plus poison, and they can't retreat on the Glysaur. Essentially, single energy attackers that you can leave there doing a bit of work, slowing your opponent down while you find time to build up Flygon. In at number 3, we've got Zacian, with the important caveat that in the specific format you're playing in pre-releases, it's actually awesome. 2 energy, 50 damage, but if your opponent's got 3 or fewer prize cards remaining, it does 140. The thing is, in pre-releases, your opponent starts with 4 prize cards. So as soon as they take 1 prize, you've got a 2 energy, 140 attack. That's actually really good. So yeah, in this specific circumstance, like it. Big fan. I think this is awesome. I think in standard it's a little bit underpowered, but I think specifically In pre-releases, it's awesome. Now, we're also told that in the pre-release kit, you will get Alchemy that for a single energy does 20 damage for each of your Pokemon in play. Full bench of 5 is single energy 120, not to be sniffed at. And now they did specifically say Alchemy was in your 40-card deck. And then it showed us Wondrous Patch, which attaches a basic Psychic from your discard to one of your bench. It doesn't actually say it's in the pack, whereas Alchemy does, and another card does, and another card I'm going to show you in a minute says it doesn't. So I'm not 100% sure if it's in there or not. It's not entirely clear. But obviously this with Zacian is great, because it attaches extra energy to your bench Psychic Pokemon, and that's pretty gosh darn sweet. Now, in at number 2, we've got Ceruledge. This is going to be one that a lot of people want. It's one that I want personally. Single energy, stage 1, single prize. That's all my favourite things in a competitive Pokemon card. Single energy, 220 damage, but you have to discard 4 basic fire energy cards from your hand, and if you don't, the attack does nothing. If you cannot discard 4 energy from your hand, it doesn't do anything. If you can, 220 damage on a single prize stage 1, yay! But if you can't, it does nothing. You have been warned. Yeah, this is potentially nuts. Both in standard and in pre-release. Your opponent's going to be running around with their big stage 2s and you're going to be like, 1 at KO. And there is a card that's going to help you here. It is Fire Breather, which we are specifically told is in the deck. This will, as in the 40-card deck you are provided, if you pull your Ceruledge promo. And this lets you search for 7 basic fire energy, 1 to attach, 4 for the attack you're using, and then potentially another 2 as well. Oh, nice. Yeah, Fire Breather makes Ceruledge work so much more consistently. This is awesome. We're also told that Blowtorch isn't in your pack. It specifically says, if you see this in your booster packs, if you open a Blowtorch in your booster pack, to the exact phrase they use, well, that lets you discard a basic fire and discard a tool, special energy, or stadium. Nice. That's not in the deck, but they've shown it off, and this is cool. To be honest with you, even just getting cards like Fire Breather and Blowtorch being revealed in English, this is awesome. I don't remember them revealing cards like this when they do their pre-release promo reveals. So it's not just confirmation of the promos and showing them off in English. There's also a bunch of other cards revealed, which makes me happy. Also, as a side note with the Ceruledge, I've told you before, but it is worth mentioning here. An awful lot of people are getting excited about this Ceruledge because of how redonkulously well it seems to combo with the Ceruledge EX from Surging Sparks. That one is single energy, 30 damage plus 20 more for each energy in your discard. Absolutely seems to combo beautifully. But in Japan right now, no one is playing these Ceruledge together. They're not playing this non-EX in the EX deck. Read into that what you will. But the really, really clear number 1 here is Toxtricity. And I do mean this is one of those absolute no question number 1. Which is kind of fun because, of course, in Mega Revolution, Lunatone was the absolute no question runaway best pre-release promo. We don't always have that for pre-releases. Sometimes it's not that clear what the number 1 is, and there's a couple that are kind of similar. Nah, Mega Revolution, it was Lunatone by a mile. Here it is Toxtricity by a mile. It's not the attack's garbage, but the ability Sinister Surge says that once during your turn you may use this ability, search your deck for a basic Darkness energy and attach it to one of your bench Darkness Pokemon. If you attach an energy to a Pokemon in this way, place 2 damage counters on that Pokemon. Yeah, Monkey Dory exists, and is played in Darkness decks because you need a Darkness energy attached to it. So this powers up your attackers, leaving your attachment for the turn free to go onto Monkey Dory while giving you damage on the board to transfer over with Monkey Dory. Every Darkness Pokemon gets better with this. This is going to be a staple in pretty much every Darkness deck from here until the end of time, other than Marnie's Grimmsnarl, because that actually accelerates its own energy. But outside of that, every time you're building a Darkness deck for the next, 2 years, you're going to be putting Toxtricity in it. It's absurd. It's the obvious number one. They've also gone and told us that Crocodile is going to be here as your most powerful attacker. It's a stage 2 they popped in the deck. Single energy 60, but if a Pokemon was knocked out by damage from an attack during your opponent's last turn, it does 220, or just 4 energy 160, which is much easier to pull off when Toxtricity's out and about. But we are also told Grimsley's move will be in the deck as well, and we have confirmation of the English name Grimsley's move. Look at the top 7 cards of your deck, put a Darkness Pokemon you find there onto your bench, shuffle the other cards and put them on the bottom of your deck. You can't choose this card during your first turn. And this is one of those situations where a lot of people are going to be asking, well, hang on a second, is that just basics? No, it's any of them. The wording is, find a Darkness Pokemon and bench it. So that's what you do. Doesn't matter if they're basic. Yes, this means you can put a Crocodile directly onto your bench from a Grimsley's move, or a Toxtricity or something like that. And it's the top 7 cards of your deck, but like we've been talking about in this video, in pre-releases, you're only looking at 40 card decks. Yeah. Which means looking at the top 7 cards of a 40 card deck is more likely to give you the hit you're looking for than looking at the top 7 cards of a 60 card deck. Which is fantastic. Yeah, make no mistake about it here. I think Toxtricity and Ceruledge are absolutely on another level. They are the clear 1 and 2 as far as I'm concerned, but Toxtricity is number 1. I think Zacian here is a really fun card specifically to help you win your pre-release, but in standard it does take a step back. And Flygon has amazing artwork by Oswaldo Cato. I think the artwork is stunning. That is the best thing about the card. Although, again, like I have conceded, obviously we can still look at Flygon and go, look, if you get this rolling in a pre-release, you're still talking 150 HP, 2 energy 130 with some milling. It's not going to work in standard, but in pre-releases it could be kind of fun. I'm happy with this set of pre-release promos, and I know I told you what they were a couple of weeks ago when it became really obvious what they were, but now I've been able to show you proper English scans and a bunch of other cards getting their initial reveal from the set as well, and I think that's rather spiffing. But I've shown you all of that now, so now it's over to you guys. Tell me what you think of these cards in the comment section, and tell me which one of these you want to be pulling. Go nuts! Be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Tamberlin, who has been a supporter of ours for a while now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.